Life safety for sure was the major concern. Life safety for our community members, life safety for the firefighters, and the firefighters that had come to our area to try to help us with the situation.
Our big concern there, though, was the fire running into the neighborhood.
Get your key medicines and your pets. That's it. And you're going to have to go.
Then when we got the all clear where we could go home, then of course we went home, and it was just a devastating view. I mean, everything was just gray ash.
There were trees still burning. The whole ground was blackened but smoldering. And I drove in there and said, this reminds me of after a B-52 strike in Vietnam, what the terrain looked like.
By Tuesday evening, we were on pre-evac. So we're going like, well, now where are we going to go? So my mother-in-law lived 3 miles down the road off of Ramsey, and we said, well, we'll move everything down there. So we started moving vehicles and motorcycles, and my sister-in-law was helping us, and we got everything down there to my mother-in-law's, except for the RV and one vehicle. We had trailers and we were loading them also and pulling them down to my mother-in-law's. So on Wednesday they came and they said, yes, you gotta go now.
I'm John Black, and I'm the commander of the Sheriff's Assist Team. And back 10 years ago, I was the commander of the Sheriff's Assist Team.
My name's Steve Ziegler. I'm the deputy commander of the Sheriff's Assist Team. My job was exactly the same as the commander back during the fire.
Key medications, pets, and important documents. And we were just telling that. Those 3 things, we got to go. You're more important than anything else that's left here, so you got to get out. And so that, I guess, occasion, I saw that first night I talked to that I was on a roadblock, one of the road. A guy came and he didn't have his meds. He didn't. He just, when you guys told him to leave, they left. We had orders, don't let anybody in. Well, that's not very user-friendly for a citizen, okay? And we're citizens, we're volunteers. So I would say, look, let me see your driver's license. They'd show me driver's license, yep, looks like him. What's your address? I'd write the address down. At first I would hold the driver's license. I said, when you come back, you get your driver's license back. You got 30 minutes. I quit doing that after a while. I just said, I got your name, I know where you are, and if you don't come back, I'm going to send search and rescue in to see if they can find your remains.
Sometimes people have to be reminded that this is not a TV show, this is real. And we tell them, if you do not want to go, we're not going to make you. However, I want your name, I want your phone number, and who's your next of kin, because if you don't go, don't bother calling 911, because we're not coming back. That's the reality of the situation.
The one thing that made a difference in how we were able to work during the Monument Fire was the fact that a lot of that community was evacuated. So we didn't have the life safety risk. Because we didn't have the life safety risk that we would normally have, we didn't have to expose our firefighters to the same risk that we would. So I think that's huge.
That evening had a very difficult conversation with Greg Ponson. I called him and said, we're going up into the canyon and check them homes. Because I could just imagine somebody got partially burned laying by their home. Couldn't get to a phone, don't have a cell phone, or he got burned up. And he said, absolutely not. He said, nobody's going in that fire, we're going back up tomorrow morning. I said, no, absolutely, you're wrong. I said, this is our area, these are our citizens, we're going back up into that fire, we're gonna check everything. And we did. We sent a sheriff's officer with every one of our units as we went up and cleared the canyon, and grace of God, there was nobody there.
Oh, I was just like, I'm glad it's still here. I'm glad it's still standing. The ground looked almost like it had rained, but it was because they were dropping water on the properties there. Well, this is June and the mulberry tree has got green leaves. The edges of the leaves were scorched. I went inside, we had a digital thermometer that records high and low temp. It was 115 in the house. I had a shelf on one of the outside bedroom walls that had a candle on it. The candle melted down the shelf, the counters, everything was just covered with ash. I was thankful. That was my first thought. The devastation, it looked like a moonscape. The hills, the foothills, and then to see Nick's and Ricardo's just flattened. It was just scary.
That they came in and evaluated the impact on the land, because the next biggest concern really was flooding.
For 3 years, the contour of our ranch just changed with every rain. Each rainstorm came different and hard, and it would wipe out, because all the debris coming down would wipe out another piece of fence. It couldn't come the same way each time. It was creative, and one day you'd be riding horseback on flat land, and the next day that exact area you're down in a wash, or that was eroded away the day before, and you barely see out horseback, and then a few days later it filled in again.
I say this all the time about Sierra Vista and the community of Sierra Vista. When people are in need, this community helps, bar none. There's no issues when it comes to that, and I think our community really did come together during that time and help those who really needed it the most.
It's all about community, right? None of us are in this by ourselves. Whether it's neighbors banding together to take proactive prevention efforts and reduce the fuel load around their homes and their neighborhood, or from public safety realizing that we're all in the same community. The better we work together day in, day out, the better we're going to be able to work together on larger incidents.
I wasn't surprised of the response by the responders throughout our county. And the reason why I say that is the years that I was fortunate enough to be in a position to make decisions to help other departments, I did every time I could. Response from the community? Pretty amazing.
These folks that are helping other people are also not sure they'll be able to go home, and to see that was really kind of interesting, and to see the community kind of helping each other and everyone stepping up for each other, even as they're worried about their own situations, was really inspiring.
It's a community effort, and at the same time, without the community, we wouldn't be here.
Their ability to integrate with the local responders, the local plans, integrate with what is already in place there. That is so important, and that everybody is at the table and contributes. And so it's back to that unity of effort that we're all working together to achieve, this common goal that we agree on.
When we were needed, we were there. Our local firefighters, Fry Fire, and the city, the group on Fort Huachuca, they are not hesitating. There's a little bit of smoke somewhere, they get out there and they stomp it down. With Mark Savage and Chief Jones, they're world class. They're really good. We have outstanding firefighters in our area, and they do an outstanding job.
And that's not to say that Redman and Miller, they're outstanding also. They did a wonderful job. They really did.